What up, what up, what up? Serial Assassin here, and Chaos mode and a couple other things were made available yesterday on the PS3, so I downloaded them, and the gameplay in the background is one of my games in Chaos. This is my first game ever, so go lightly on me. But this commentary is a response to my boy Septik Raven, aka Pob. He put out a video about ghost stories and ghosts being bollocks. So I want to tell a quick story to Pob and everyone else that cares to listen. This story is I bought a house down in Philly that was probably about 80 years old. It was my first home I've ever purchased with my family. And we got a puppy. It was a little pit bull. And she was beautiful. Her name is Jade. God rest her soul. But she used to just bark randomly. Like we'd be sit down watching a movie, and she would just start randomly barking at the steps, and or running into the kitchen and start barking at nothing. And we heard nothing. We checked. There's nothing there. So after a while, we decided that the place was haunted. And there would be nights that I would go to bed, a little later than everybody else, and I would hear like a girl whispering out in the hallway. So, initially, with my rational mind, I'm agnostic, so I don't believe in, a God per any religion. I just believe in a greater being, and, I do believe in an afterlife. Don't know exactly what it is, but I'm sure there's something once we pass on from here. I just don't know what it is. I don't think it's 70 virgins or some heavenly place that we meet everybody else we lost. I just believe there is something after this. Don't know what. Just believe there's something after us, and all the religions that promise you these great things or these bad things if you're not the best soul in the world. But anyway, back to the story. I would hear girls' voices all the time, and I always passed it off, being rational, that it was the little girl that lived next door, because we were in a twin, and a twin is it's a big house that's split in half to single family units. And I would always pass off that it was a little girl next door. But sometimes, like it's 1 o'clock in the morning, everybody's sleeping, and I would hear this little girl whispering. I couldn't hear what she was saying, none of that, but I would hear this voice. And like I said, I always passed it off as her. But one night, my youngest son had the habit of coming out of his bed in the middle of the night and grabbing his pillow and his blankie and walking into our room and laying down next to my ex-wife's side of the bed and falling asleep on the floor. So it was my job to try to break him of this habit. And after a while, it got to the point where I just said, Keith, good night. And he would grab his stuff and walk back into his room, and that would be the end of it. So one night, I hear footsteps coming into I'm like just about to fall asleep, and I hear these footsteps coming into the room. I hear them enter the door, walk around to her side of the bed, and then they stopped. And I was like, Keith, good night. Nothing. It's like, okay. So come on, bud, time to go to sleep. Get back to bed. Nothing. So I get out of bed and I walk around the side of the bed expecting to see him there, and he's not there. So I go into his room, and Jade's laying at the bottom of his bed. He was sound asleep, and I was like, "Huh, that's odd." I heard footsteps come into our room. So I come back and I lay down in bed, and I'm sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, "Ah, whatever, I'm going back to sleep." So I roll over, lay on my stomach, and I hear the footsteps again, and I open my eyes, and I look up, and there's nobody coming in the room. So I lay back down. I'm like, "Man, this house is weird." And then all of a sudden, I feel this hand come up through the mattress and rest on my leg. Ice cold, and my eyes shot open, and I froze, and I was like, what the beep? And I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And then I feel the hand run down my back. So I like after it ran down my back, like I was like I jumped up, looked over, my ex-wife was dead asleep, nobody else in the room, and I was like, okay, Emily, good night. And Emily is the name I eventually gave to this ghost. When I was joking around with my family, but I was like, all right, Emily, good night, and that was it. I heard footsteps walking out of the room, and that was it. And my ex-wife used to call me at work all the time that she'd be sitting home alone, watch TV, and doors would slam upstairs for no reason. So I sincerely believe that my house was haunted, and that was my biggest experience with this ghost. So, Pob, there you go. I believe in ghosts. I do believe that the people get on TV, and 90% of it is bullshit, but I do believe there is afterlife spirits, whatever you want to call them, that are out there, and I don't totally dismiss everything I say. So, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Peace.